Let's go. Go.
All right, let's hit the button here.
Welcome
talk about.
to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room Podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR.KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US.
Yes.
And now, it's time to talk Star Wars. I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you just, the reason I haven't put Rick in there is because I have to find the music that plays in the background. I have to find, there's 3 different types of music that play in the background. I have to find all of them and redo it all. I could add him basically, but it'd be like, this is Scott, and then it'll go, and this is Rick, and there'd be no sound or nothing. It'll just say, this is Rick. So it'd be funny. I could do it that way just to be silly, but it takes a little bit to re-record all that.
Or just know me. And Rick's here too.
Well, that's what I do.
There's Ricky.
All right. So today, since we have a lot to talk about, because it was a pretty, I thought it was a pretty packed episode. We're gonna start reviewing Ahsoka Part 6 called "Far, Far Away." Referencing the scroll there that we always see. And we're gonna discuss it. We're gonna go through the recap of all the cast and directors, and then we're gonna kind of do a deep dive on it and see what we think about it. So let's do a spoiler thing so that people, let's hear it. Say it.
Spoiler alert.
There we go. So basically what that means, if you haven't seen episode 6 or anything before episode 6, go watch it, because we're going to spoil everything. We're going to talk about all of it. So get ready. And we got a director today, Jennifer Getzinger. It's the first time I've seen her on one of these, is Jennifer Getzinger. Of course, the writer, David Filoni. I don't think he's going to do anything but write this the whole time. It was edited by James D. Wilcox. He's edited a few. And the music score was Kevin Kinnear. Our cast was interesting.
Why does that sound familiar?
Because Kevin Kinnear is always the one that does the music. He's done it since I think maybe Rebels or before that. He's done the music for all the shows. William, what's his name, retired, so this guy took over. John Williams, he retired.
Kinnear.
It's K-I. Well, there's a Kinnear that does
talk show,
but that's not the same guy. It's probably actually Kiner. I don't know. Kevin Kiner. I don't know. It's spelled Kiner. I have his IMDb thing if you want to look at it, but actually it's on our website. Everybody that's listed in the cast and the direction I have on our website with a link to their IMDb so you can see what they've done. So in the cast, of course, we have Ahsoka Tano, which is played by Rosario Dawson. Sabine Wren, played by Natasha Bordizzo. Ballyan Skoll, played by Ray Stevens. Shin Hati, played by Ivanna Sakhino. Morgan Elisabeth, played by Deanna Lee Inosanto. Professor Huyang, played by David Tennant. And then we have some new characters. Aktropaw, she's one of those Night Sister mothers or whatever. She's played by Geraldine Prescott Galen. Kothaw, played by Claudia Black, which I don't know. You need to look up Claudia Black. She's pretty old. She's a good looking one. And then the last witch was called Lexis, something like that. Their names weren't really said in the show, though. I think Thrawn just referred to them as mothers or mother, grandmother, or great mother, or something like that. I think the Aktropaw is the great mother, and the other three, I don't know if you remember from the Clone Wars, but the Night Sisters, there was always three of them that were ruling the top. I don't know why, but then of course we saw our buddy Grand Admiral Thrawn for the first time. He had quite a bit of time in the show, played by Lars Mikkelsen. And then we had Captain Inyok, which is the trooper that had the gold faceplate. He's played by Wes Chapman. And then Ezra Bridger was the other person that was there. All the other things didn't have anything. So let's do a commercial.
The Turtle Rocks didn't have them.
No, they didn't.
Oh my God, they were
because they didn't actually. We didn't actually understand what they said, so I guess we didn't need. Yeah, something. So let me play a commercial that's related to what we just talked about.
Hey, you over there. Are you a trooper? Yeah. Is your armor always dirty? When do you find time to clean it? Did Rebel scum scratch and damage it? Does your helmet communications keep acting up? Stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. Before 1500 hours, we will wash, clean, and sanitize your armor for the next day pickup. Our patented galactically ancient secret cleaning techniques will have your armor sparkling just like a new Cerealian Y1300 freighter just off the assembly line.
Yeah.
You will be the envy of all your friends and coworkers, from the castles on Lothal to the politicians on Coruscant to the environmentalists on Endor. For your next day service, stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. We are located in Tatooine's Mos Eisley Spaceport, directly across from Hangar 35. We will also repair and sell most parts at the best rates in the known galaxy. All services guaranteed and licensed by the Emperor himself to last a lifetime. Only at Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. We accept Imperial credits only. Helmets and boots services are extra.
Yeah, so they're gonna get we put them on there today because they're gonna give a special discount if Thrawn brings all his stormtroopers over to get their stuff cleaned up.
Oh my God, that's a big job.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but every single one of them had a dirty uniform. They all had mud or whatever on them, and they were taped together.
It was a ship.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it had on the bottom of it. You didn't notice it, but on the bottom of it had the Mythosaur symbol, which is Thrawn's thing, Chimeria symbol. It's a weird.
It had the zebra stripe camo.
It looked like it, but you didn't see it. It's the symbol that Thrawn uses. It's a weird double snake thing or something weird like that. You have to look at it close to see it.
Snake.
But
snake.
So our episode part 6, Far, Far Away, aired on September 19th. It was 43 minutes long, and it's still in the 9 before the battle of, or after the Battle of Yavin. I keep saying before, after the Battle of Yavin. So what that means is it's time to grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. Oh my, yours is almost empty. So just for fun, we're up to on Twitter, we're up to 108 followers, which is up from last week. Last week we had 106. So we got 2 more. And last week's podcast got 22 views so far. One before it's got 31. Let's see. That's on YouTube. On Amazon, we've just got a view or 2, I think, maybe 1. Yeah. Spotify, we've got a few extras this week, and we've had a little traffic on Google too. So we're doing okay. I mean, we got 1 or 2 new people that are listening. It seems like I did get a thumbs down in the YouTube channel, so I don't know if that was you or someone else doing a thumbs down, but I got a thumbs down in there. They didn't like the episode, or they did
thumbs down.
No comments though, so we don't know why. Just says thumbs down. 1 thumbs down and 0 thumbs up. So let's get on with the episode here. So it starts off as Ahsoka and Huyang are traveling through hyperspace within the mouth of the pergola. The 2 reminisce about stories of space whales Huyang would tell Tano and the other younglings in the Jedi Temple. When Tano just declines to hear one of his stories, Huyang asks Tano for one of hers. In response, Tano tells Huyang that Sabine Wren went with the enemy willingly, meaning she saw it in her vision, which Huyang regards as troubling. That's weird. Why would she go willingly? Tano agrees that that's kind of strange, but Huyang suggests that the Force provided Wren with insight in her decision, and that's for her to save Ezra Bridger, and that may have been her only choice. Oh. What is that? That's not it. Anyway, where was I? I got to deliver it at my doorstep.
Oh, you better go get it.
Well, it should be something else. I don't know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. Never mind.
What is it?
That's some I guess they're called grease pencils. You've probably seen them in what you do. It makes it easier. They're just little pins that have grease in them instead. Not grease. I don't mean grease, but I don't know. It's not. They're not ink or anything. It's just a piece of, I don't know. It looks like plastic, but it's grease. When you write on, you can write on stuff with it.
Oh.
I got some of those because I use them in my garage to label all my toys in there. You know, like tools and toys. Okay. Anyway, so she's made the only choice she thinks is to save Ezra, and Tano decides then to hear one of Huyang's stories after all. And Huyang begins his tale with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Ta-da! Then we usually hear this.
I was just hear this, right?
Exactly, that's what I was too. I was like, "Oh, they didn't big opportunity to play this. Big opportunity to play that song."
Yeah,
but they didn't do it. And then we jump to Sabine Wren awakening aboard the Eye of Sion inside a prison cell.
That's a great line. I was expecting a room with a view.
Yeah. And it was a pretty small cell too, wasn't it? Baylan Skoll passes by the cell, and Wren doesn't grab him, but jabs at him, hoping to have a room with a view, like you said. Skoll suggests that her imprisonment would be an opportunity for her to have great reflection, something that Wren has claimed to avoid. Wren reminds Skoll that their deal regarding finding Bridger, and Skoll departs silently as Wren angrily calls out to him. She says, "Hey, Baylan," or something. I don't know what she calls him. Come here, come back. I wasn't done talking to you. I'm bored. Talk to me. I'm a woman. I have to talk to somebody all the time. Skoll returns to the bridge.
I'm still trying to place Baylan in my mind. Where do we see him?
Well, I don't think we've ever seen him before. He was mentioned before, but we've never seen him before. Okay. He's new. Right. He's basically new. There's mention in some stuff about a General Baylan Skoll. But this is the first time we've actually seen him and actually learned hardly anything about him. Because we've always, especially back when they Jedi purged Order 66, we saw a ton of the Jedis, but we never we didn't know what most of them were, right?
Yeah.
They just got killed. All right. So Skoll returns to the bridge and tells Morgan about Wren's impatience. When Elisabeth asks Skoll if he intends to follow through on his promise to her, he simply responds that her pursuit of Bridger blinds her and that she may still be of use to them. At the moment, the eye emerged from hyperspace at Peridia. And it's weird. We kind of see when he rings around the planet and then we get in closer, and it's like skeletons and stuff of these whales and stuff. Isn't that kind of strange? Yeah. And this is when Elisabeth states how the planet was an ancient homeworld of her people, the Darth Mori, and Skoll recalls the Jedi archive stories of the planet and how it was used as the end of the Pergola's migration route from one galaxy to another, which, like they come there to die or something. Elisabeth tells how her ancestors were the first to ride the creatures, and Skoll remarks on the planet's nature as a Pergola graveyard as the eye passes through the planet's rings, which are made of Pergola bones and whatever else, skin and stuff looks like too.
So do you think that they make trips there with their elders for them to die?
I think that's part of it. I think it's so how salmon go up the water to mate and stuff, yeah. Right? Yeah. So it's probably something like that, except it's the opposite.
So I'm just wondering if this one that's delivering them, it's its last trip.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, because it looks pretty big, and we kind of assume the bigger they are, the older they are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's close. It could open its mouth and go and breathe its last breath, right? All right, and then Shin Hati. I say Hati because she looks like a hottie. I think it's I think it's Hati. Hati, I don't know. Collects Wren from her cell, and the two, along with Elisabeth and Skoll, travel to the Perdia's surface. The group meets three Night Sisters.
Cool, that was a freaking cool ship.
Yeah, that little ship.
All golden and crap.
Yeah, she's got a fascination with gold, doesn't she? The group meets three Night Sisters known as the Great Mothers at the hinge similar to the one on the reflex point on Sietos. One of them welcomes Elisabeth as a child of Darthmore. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty much exactly the same, except it wasn't broken, right?
Yeah, I know. I know you said this before, but I just realized it because I rewatched Mando.
Yep.
She's the one with the rod.
Exactly.
Right.
The Beskar rod.
Yeah.
Yeah. She and Ahsoka fights in that scene there. They fight each other. We see her a couple times before they fight, but it's very briefly, I think. Blah blah blah. Night Sisters. One of them welcomes Elisabeth as a child of Darthmore, praising her by saying she did their ancestors credit. She lived up to her to what they were expecting of her. They're proud of her, I guess. Elisabeth confirms that the Night Sisters' visions guided them across the stars to Perdia. When the witches mention Grand Admiral Thrawn, Elisabeth asks where he is. Where is he at? Come on, he should be right here. We're ready to go. The Night Sisters announce that he is coming. He's on his way. One witch remarks that Wren stinks of Jedi and marks her as dangerous. They put some sort of little red square rope thing around her. Some witch thing, huh?
I think they could also use it besides for securing somebody, but they can also make somebody tell the truth. So
could be.
I think they're hiding Wonder Woman somewhere on that planet.
Exactly. That's what it is. Except that those ropes are red and Wonder Woman's rope was golden.
Come on.
I know, I'm just saying.
Come on.
One witch remarks that Wren stinks of a Jedi and is restricting her with 3 floating spheres. When Wren is whisked away, she reminds Skoll again about their deal, asking for Bridger. Where is my Bridger, buddy? Where is he at? Skoll and Hati linger at the stone pillars, and Skoll states that Perdia is a place of dreams and madness. Children's stories come to life here, mostly because they was told stories as a child about the place. Hati voices that she does not know of such stories, as she was not raised in the Jedi Temple in Coruscant. Skoll continues regarding the tales of Perdia as ancient folklore long forgotten. Hati muses that sometimes the stories are just stories. They don't mean anything, right? They're just stories.
And these sisters aren't these? Isn't this the I don't want to say right? Isn't this the sisterhood that made? Oh God, it was in my head. Can't make it to my tongue.
Maul? No, it's a
Maul. Yeah.
No, I think these sisters have always been on this planet. They didn't make the trip to Darthamore or whatever.
But it's the same. Is it the same sect?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, because you hear them say that they had a large group travel from this planet to there. Something happened on the planet and they had to leave or something, but they left these 3 behind. Or something like that. I'm
sorry.
No, you're fine. Skoll recollects that he is slightly older than Hati, and he watched the Jedi Temple burn and couldn't make sense of it at the time. However, Skoll states that as one ages and learns history, such things reveal themselves as inevitability. as the fall of the Jedi and the rise of the Empire repeat in a cycle over and over again. Kind of like the Battlestar Galactica phrase.
Yeah.
Everything we see has happened before, or something like that. Hati asks if it's their turn, and if Thrawn's return will finally bring them to power. Skoll regards such power as fleeting, instead claims to seek a new beginning to bring the cycle to an end. The cycle to an end. So he wants to make sure that there's no more Jedi, I guess, so that he can be the only one or something. I don't know. When Hati asks if the beginning is there at Perdia, her master smiles, believing that it is if the stories are true. Oh, so something on the planet is going to help them put an end to everything, huh? What if it's Ezra Bridger? Wren once again is in confinement. She paces her small cell. She closes her eyes and reaches out with her hand, attempting to open the cell door with a force. Open! Open! Open door! Open. Though the cell door begins to rumble, she looks out the window and says the arrival of a Imperial Star Destroyer, the Chimeria, which is what Thrawn named his ship. The ship slowly descends at the hedge to meet Elisabeth's entourage and the Night Sisters. As the ship hangar meets the pillar, rows of night troopers stand guard as Thrawn marches between them, and they're all chanting Thrawn, 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 Thrawn. As Thrawn greets his new allies alongside his captain of the guard, Inyak, he muses that what was once a dream is now a reality, a frightening reality, for which who now opposes them and salutes the Night Sisters, saying that they've finally come to their prime. Thrawn notes Elisabeth's effort in her the abilities to finally allow them to escape exile. He introduces Inyak and announces that he will begin a cargo transfer as per an agreement with the Great Mothers.
Close to Enoch.
I wonder what the cargo is. He said a cargo transfer.
I don't know.
I don't either.
It looked like coffins to me.
Was it? Maybe it could be. Maybe that's how, because we know the Night Sisters can bring people back from the dead. Maybe he's giving them coffins so that they can bring them back from the dead and defend themselves. I don't know. Elisabeth tells Thrawn that she has seen the catacombs and that it will take at least 3 rotations to get the transfer. Thrawn says this is an acceptable time frame, and the witches bring up the prisoner, Wren,
I thought you said it unacceptable.
Nope, it was acceptable.
Okay.
Acceptable, because he's been there forever already. Wren, whom Skoll reveals had brought, as he believed she would be of use of them. After being introduced to Thrawn alongside his apprentice, the mercenaries, Thrawn remembers him as General Baylan Skoll of the Jedi Order. So Thrawn's heard of him before. Skoll assures him that he has parted ways with a Jedi a long time ago. Elisabeth mentions Wren's name, and Thrawn remembers her and agrees that Wren would be of great use to them. Finding Ezra, probably, huh? The 2 Night Sisters bring Wren to Thrawn, who recognizes her and thanks her for his escape from exile. Thanks for sending me all the way out here in space, lady. When Wren asks for the whereabouts of Bridger, Thrawn simply states that her desire to reunite with her old friend will reshape their galaxy. Because, Thrawn's going to escape because she's going to go find him. When Wren reiterates her question, Thrawn reassures her that he intends to honor their agreement with Skoll, and Enoch removes her restraints. Thrawn promises to outfit her with a mount and provisions and their latest intelligence on Bridger's whereabouts. When Wren asks if Thrawn is going to let her walk out of here, Thrawn says that he is helping her cause to thank her for helping his cause. However, he warns her that when his ship leaves, she will be stranded on Perdia forever. Adding that Bridger may already be dead. Wren asserts that Bridger is still alive, prompting Thrawn to say that she is gambling the fate of her galaxy on that belief. When Wren replies that Thrawn wouldn't understand and changes the topic to a question of her mount. Enoch and the Night Sisters introduce Wren to her mount, a howler. Weird looking dog like horse thing, huh?
The rat.
It's pretty big though for a rat. But Enoch says Tota, which prompts the creature to kneel so Wren can mount its saddle. Enoch warns that the wasteland is inhabited by nomads who prey on each other for survival. The captain returns Wren's blasters and her lightsaber before telling her to die well. Wren rides out from the gates into the grassy frontier. It didn't look very grassy to me. It looked kind of bare.
Grassy to me. It looked stony.
Yeah, like a dirt and rocks. Yeah. Skoll, Hati, and Elisabeth and Thrawn watch Wren depart from a balcony. Hati states that Wren is embarking on a fool's errand, and Thrawn tells Skoll and Hati that they can follow Wren at their own pace. Perplexed, Hati says that she thought Skoll was to honor the agreement, not to harm Wren, and Thrawn explains that he allowed Wren to leave to find Bridger only, so that she and her master can destroy them both. Dun dun dun.
Da 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 da.
As Wren traverses the Perdian steeps atop her howler, the mount eventually comes to a stop, and Wren begins to scan for signs of Bridger. Suddenly, a bandit appears and shoots at Wren. He's got some weird red armor on. Though the blasts hit her Beskar armor, leaving her unharmed, her mount is startled and runs off. The assault continues as multiple bandits surround Wren. Despite attacking her with blasters and melee weapons, Wren kills or disarms them all with the aid of her lightsaber finally. Though the bandits are defeated, her scanner is broken beyond repair, and she continues without it. Dang it. She doesn't have a scanner anymore. It's broken. Sorry. The Night Sisters at the Night Sisters fortress, Skoll and Hati mount their howlers to start their chase after Wren. At the Chimeria, the Night Sisters load floating storage containers onto the ship. Oh, so they're loading stuff onto the ship too. Enoch announces Skoll and
that's what he was there for, to get stuff from the catacombs.
Oh.
He wasn't delivering stuff to him. He was taking the stuff.
Oh, so you can get more soldiers. Enoch announces Skoll and Hati's departure to Thrawn, who allows 2 squads to support the mercenaries. Elisabeth suggests sending more troops, but Thrawn refuses, citing his forces' dwindling number has dwindled in the past few years. As Enoch leaves, Thrawn tells Elisabeth that it did not ultimately matter whether Wren and Bridger were left stranded on Perdia or died, and that the same was true for Skoll and Hati. so he doesn't care if they return or not. Either group. On Perdia steeps. Yeah. On Perdia steeps, Wren is followed by her remorseful howler, and she berates the beast for abandoning her during her fight with the bandits.
It's a great part.
Calling him a coward.
Bad dog.
Coward. Bad dog horsey looking thing.
Oh, wait.
As it continues to follow her, Wren decides to give the creature another chance. Okay.
Oh.
After continuing the journey further, the howler leads Wren into the valley where they discover a puddle and various rocks. As the howler inspects one of the rocks, it jumps in fear, revealing itself as a noti. I don't know. Noti. When Wren lays down her weapon, she attempts to communicate and means no harm. Once the noti approaches Wren, it notices the Rebel Alliance Starbird symbol on her dog. This thing. She has a necklace or something, or a patch. She reveals the necklace bearing a symbol and resembles Wren's original Starbird design. When Wren deduces that this could mean that the alien knows Bridger, because Ezra's got one, he asks if he could lead her to him. The noti summons other of its kind, and they form a huddle conversing in the noti language. When Wren asks again for her friend, the noti beckon for Wren to follow as they continue into the valley. Well, there's like a dozen of them or something, right? They all come up all of a sudden. They're like hermit crabs, though. They're not turtles, right? There's the rocks are all different shapes.
Snails.
Hermit crabs. As Skoll and Hati track down Wren, they discover the remains of the battle between Wren and the bandits, deducing that Wren was still alive. Hati asks her master if he knows the one Wren seeks so desperately. Skoll answers that he does not, as Bridger was trained as a Boken Jedi in the wild after the fall of the temple. So that basically means that all Jedi that were trained outside of the temple are Boken Jedi, which would make Wren a Boken Jedi, and partially Ahsoka too, I guess, right? I don't know. Boken.
My thing is, can't Jedi sense another Jedi? So she could have led herself to that, but yet she's...
Yes and no.
She's not. She hasn't tapped into the Force yet.
Right. So if you're tapped into the Force and kind of part of the Force, you can be detected basically. But you can also remove yourself from there too. So we know that that's what Luke Skywalker did, so nobody could find him.
Yeah.
He removed himself and he didn't use the Force. Because once you use the Force, you tap into it, and then you can be, possibly detected, right?
Yeah. It'd be like what is a wrinkle in the Force or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Kind of like think of it as the Matrix. The Matrix had a ripple in the Matrix, and they talked about it was a black cat or something like that usually.
Mm-hmm.
Or deja vu was a wrinkle in the Matrix. Okay. The Jedi in the wild after the fall of the temple. Hati likens herself to Bridger in that way, but Skoll asserts that he trained his apprentice to be something more than a Boken Jedi. Hati asks if Skoll misses the order, and Skoll states that he misses the idea of the order, but not the truth or the weakness of it, claiming that there's no future there. When Hati wonders if her master saw a future on Perdea, which she regards as a wasteland.
What's
Skoll
the
states
weakness?
that the Jedi, well,
Yeah.
because they allowed the Sith to, take over.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because they're too nice or something. I don't know. There's a lot of weakness that you could. That's kind of what the prequels kind of try to figure out, and I don't know if they ever do figure out what it is. I think they leave it to you to figure out. So he says there's no future in the way the Jedi used to be. When Hati wonders if her master saw a future on Pordea, which she regards as a wasteland, Skoll states that the planet once held the witch kingdom of the Darthamor, and is confirmed by the presence of the Great Mothers. Hati fears that there may be a good reason the Night Sisters wanted to leave Perdea. But Skoll reveals that he felt something stirring there, calling him to the planet at this moment. And then they're approached by two bandits. But Skoll discourages violence, stating that the enemy is one of his friends. What? Enemy of my enemy is my friend, is what he's basically saying. Still following the Noti, Wren arrives at the Noti settlement beside a lake, telling her howler to wait by the outskirts. As Wren solemnly looks around, he is met by Bridger, eventually, who says that he knew he could count on her coming to rescue him, basically.
It's like a band of gypsies.
Exactly. And Wren looks upon her friend with joy. It's my buddy. I love him. I'm gonna have his boys and girls. Bridger smiles and says that it took her long enough. When Wren responds by saying that nobody knew where he was going, Bridger says he didn't know. I didn't know either. I had no idea either. Wren remarks that Bridger always had a plan, but never a good one. Bridger asks if his plan worked when Wren confirms. The two warmly embrace. The search for Bridger is finally over. Yay. Bridger tells the Noti to be ready to move, explaining that they're nomadic, and wonders how Wren found Perdea in himself. But Wren deflects the question, asking if she can just be happy that she found him. Bridger complies and thanks Wren for coming, saying that he couldn't wait to go home. Back at the Night Sisters' fortress, the Great Mothers announced to Thrawn that a Jedi is coming to Perdea. Thrawn asks Elisabeth if that Jedi could be Tano, who is regarded as deceased after the duel with Skoll. Skoll knocked her down into the water or whatever. She's supposed to be dead. Elisabeth regards this as impossible, as Skoll assures her of Tano's death. Thrawn maintains that Elisabeth should not have underestimated a Jedi, and that death was a common deception among both them and the Night Sisters. Thrawn asserts that they should regard Skoll's judgment as flawed, as he was once a Jedi, and that they would consider Tano alive until they knew otherwise. Grand Admiral Thrawn requests to know everything about Tano, including her history, homeworld, and master, adding that if a pergola approaches Perdea to destroy it without prejudice. Thrawn turns to the Great Mothers, requesting once again to make use of their dark magic. Credits start rolling. We hear the funny music and stuff. Well, that was it. What did you think?
Good episode. They just threw everything out, and they just threw everything at us in this episode.
Yeah, there's a lot there, wasn't there? And
yeah,
almost too much, right?
Yeah. What? Ezra, we get them all in one episode?
Yeah.
What's going to happen then with the rest of it?
It's basically just the building episode so you have something to do at the end, because at the end is we're rescuing Bridger and Thrawn's escaping and all that stuff.
And I don't see how Ezra goes. Ezra said, oh, and now I can leave the planet. Okay, does he have a starship somewhere?
Well, he thinks he's going to go the same way Wren came, but he doesn't know how she got here.
Yeah. Well, we
was
know
a lot.
We know what the jump ring's for then.
Yeah, that's basically for Thrawn's big ship, right?
Yeah, Star Destroyer.
I was surprised at how much we saw of Thrawn this time. It was more than I was expecting. I was expecting just a brief,
such a grand entrance and just lay it all out there.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Sig Heil.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Funny how every single trooper we saw, their white uniform was dirty, or it had some tape on it or something. It was wrapped up. So they'd been through some battles and stuff, but never cleaned up, I guess. Never washed their uniform.
That's why they need to come too.
He runs Sparkalorium.
That's right. Just bring the whole ship through and have them stand on top of the ship, and we'll just sparkle them all up.
Yeah. Special discounts for Thrawn's Star Destroyer. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot there. So there's probably Skoll isn't expecting to leave either, because he's got some sort of premonition that there's something on the planet that's going to help him. Something bigger than all of them put together, which I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what's helped the Night Sisters and stuff. It's weird. I always tell you guys the Night Sisters aren't Jedi or aren't technically they aren't Force users, but they use the Force to enhance their magic, basically. So, they talk about how they see future events and stuff, but that was kind of like what the Jedi did. The Jedi would kind of meditate and see the future events. The Night Sisters kind of do the same. They meditate and use their magic and the Force to do the same thing. They just don't have the same powers that you would see like a Jedi or a Sith, because they use magic instead. They use their weird magic stuff, and they're more the wizards and stuff than that we would see than anything. They would mix a pot with frog's legs and stuff to do something up. I think we saw some of that when they were getting Maul ready. They found this guy, and then they cast this spell with all these weird herbs and stuff, right? Something like that. And they made him drink it, and he turned into this monster of a guy, all red and black and stuff. So, what do you think? Anything else you gotta speak about there? Got a lot of magic to do with him, and we got Thrawn, who's trying to escape with Elisabeth's thing, and then we got Skoll and Hati searching for something greater on the planet. I don't know. We got
Thrawn will just leave them all.
Yeah, I think he probably will. Actually, I think
he'll just say, "I'm out."
I think what's going to happen is, Thrawn's going to escape, right around the moment that Ahsoka arrives, and Ahsoka is going to find Ezra and Wren because they're going to ride back to the wherever
On
the
the
Night
ship.
Sisters were,
Yeah.
and
Like
they're going to and they're going to escape. But they're going to be behind Thrawn, of course. So Thrawn's going to have time to go in and do some bad stuff. So
he goes in the message ahead. All the people that are aligned with him are going to start causing shit to happen.
Yeah. So there's a reason why the First Order, basically, when we see them in the movies, the First Order basically is already taken over so quickly, is because of Thrawn. Thrawn went in and kind of destroyed what was barely a rebel force at the time, and I think at the time he got destroyed as well. We don't know for sure. We don't know what happened to Thrawn. A lot of the rumors say that he's dead. In our timeline, that's with the new First Order and all that stuff, he's dead then. But we don't know that for sure. But we do know that he came back and wreaked havoc, and that's how the First Order was able to come back. First Order was an offshoot of what Thrawn was going to try to do. What's his name? The captain that said the Hitler phrase in front of everybody was he took over after Thrawn left.
Steering fluid.
So, I think that's what's going to happen, but I don't know how much we're going to see in the next 2 episodes because supposedly there's season 2 of Ahsoka. Maybe season 2 is fighting Thrawn and defeating him. I don't know.
Well, we got what, 7 more episodes? How many episodes we got?
2 more episodes left.
2 more?
8 and 9.
Oh.
This is episode.
Of course, they're not going to run them conjointly.
Wait, this is episode 6, isn't it? So we've got 3 episodes left: 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna do them separately so far. As far as every schedule I've seen, they've all been separated. Shot. There's no two at a time anymore.
So put all these together, time-wise, when we're done watching them. What they did, I'm guessing what they've done is they caught the whole thing and then they chopped it up into episodes. So they shoot all these like a movie and they chop them up into episodic.
I mean, sort of. You've got David Filoni writing it though, and he's used to writing.
Well, that is David Filoni's baby from what I saw, the 8-minute documentary.
Yeah. He this is the first thing he's done without George Lucas.
So is his claim of he thought up Ahsoka, but then there's a contradiction that Lucas brought Ahsoka to him.
Yeah, Lucas. It was Lucas. He said it before that Lucas brought it to him. And Lucas brought it to him when they were doing the animated Clone Wars movie. He said, "I want to introduce this new character, Ahsoka, and I want you to do it or whatever." Because Lucas was very involved in the animated movie. It was his idea to do the animated movie. And then they spun it off the idea was to spin it off as a TV series after that. So, Lucas was involved in the movie like he was all the other movies, that animated movie. And it was, like I said, it was his idea. And Filoni has said that himself before that Lucas brought the idea to him. And they developed it together, is what he said, basically. But anyway, we want you guys to tell us what you think about all this stuff we saw this week.
Feedback at KyleJohansson.us. That's feedback, KyleJohansson.us.
Yeah, so send us to that email address. That'll allow you to attach a audio or video if you'd like. Obviously, many email accounts only let you go up to 25 megs. So be careful of that. You can also go to our website, which there should be a link down here, our website, and it would be, on the left-hand side. Once you get there for feedback, that'll pull up a form that'll let you send something. Can't attach anything to that, so that's the disadvantage, but you can send us your text feedback. We're on Twitter at super_duper_pod. We're on Blue Sky at Rebel Alliance Briefing Room, all one word. And we're on YouTube, where you can put as many comments as you want in the video comments section. Did you ever get your Blue Sky to work, Scott?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
Stuff going.
Okay. We're going to get Scott on there too, so he can talk to everybody about Star Wars and whatever else. So yeah, we want the feedback. We barely get any feedback, and we want all the feedback. So don't hold back. Don't be shy.
Don't hold back on the feedback.
Yeah, don't be shy. We'll give you credit for your feedback, and you'll be famous, right?
Sure thing.
So send us some feedback right away. Anything else, Scott, or should we get out of here?
Sound like you got somewhere to go.
Not really.
Gotta go do chores.
Exactly. I don't want to do that. So I don't, but I mean, we've been going for a while too. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we can chat too if you want.
Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR_KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries.
None of those.
All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott, and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
See you next week with this exciting venture into Ahsoka and
Oh yeah. Happy fall, everybody.
Happy fall, y'all.
Y'all come back now, yeah.
It's officially fall. Yay. Yep. My neighbor across the street and down the road a little bit has already got their Halloween decorations up.
Awesome.
Let me stop this recording.